What if the most terrifying monsters looked completely normal? What if the people capable of unimaginable evil lived next door? The story of the Moors murders isn't just one of Britain's most horrifying crimes. It's a chilling reminder that evil doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, it hides behind a smile. In the early 1960s, a series of disappearances began to terrify England. Children vanished, families searched desperately for answers, and nobody suspected that two seemingly ordinary people were responsible. Their names were Brady and Myra Hindley, and together they would become one of the most infamous criminal pairs in British history. At first glance, there was nothing extraordinary about them. Brady appeared intelligent and quiet. Hindley seemed ordinary and approachable, but beneath that normal exterior was a relationship built on obsession, manipulation, and violence. Between 1963 and 1965, 5 children became victims of the pair, young lives stolen through deception and brutality. The crimes shocked the nation not only because of their cruelty, but because the victims were children, the most vulnerable members of society. Brady and Hindley carefully selected their victims. They used trust, kindness, and manipulation to lure children into dangerous situations. The murders weren't random, they were planned, calculated, and deeply disturbing. Britain had seen murder before, but this case felt different, because it shattered a comforting belief that evil looks obvious, that dangerous people stand out. The Moors murders proved the opposite. Brady displayed many traits associated with sadistic and manipulative personalities. He sought power, control, domination. Violence wasn't simply an act. For him, it became part of his identity. Perhaps even more disturbing was Myra Hindley. How does someone become involved in such horrific crimes? Many experts believe her relationship with Brady played a critical role, but that question still sparks debate today. Was she manipulated? Or was she an equal participant? Together, they formed something terrifying, a partnership where manipulation, loyalty, obsession, and violence fed each other. Separately, they were dangerous. Together, they became catastrophic. One of the most disturbing aspects of the case is how manipulation operated inside their relationship. Brady exerted enormous influence, but Hindley also embraced the darkness that relationship offered. Their bond became a cycle of reinforcement, each pushing the other further. When the truth emerged, Britain was horrified. Newspapers filled with headlines. Television coverage dominated public attention. The nation became obsessed with understanding how such crimes could happen. The case touched a deep fear. The fear that evil can exist beneath ordinary appearances. The fear that danger can hide where we least expect it. And perhaps most terrifying of all, the fear that humans are capable of far more darkness than we'd like to believe. Psychologists, criminologists, journalists, all tried to answer the same question: why? Why would two people commit such unimaginable acts? The answer remains complicated and deeply unsettling. The impact of the case extended far beyond the courtroom. It changed public attitudes toward child safety. It influenced criminal investigations, and it became one of the defining true crime cases in British history. For storytellers and true crime writers, the Moors murders reveal powerful lessons about villains who appear ordinary. Psychological manipulation, dangerous relationships, public fear and moral panic. The darkness hidden beneath normality. Because the most frightening villains often don't look like villains at all. The Moors murders force us to confront a disturbing truth. Evil doesn't always arrive wearing a mask. Sometimes it arrives looking completely ordinary, and that's what makes it so terrifying. The story of Brady and Myra Hindley remains one of the darkest chapters in criminal history. Not just because of what they did, but because of what they revealed, that beneath the surface of normal life, unspeakable darkness can exist. If you want more deep true crime and psychological storytelling breakdowns like this, subscribe, because the most disturbing stories aren't about monsters. They're about ordinary people who became them.